All right, so it looks like Stellantis just released this video of this Charger Daytona ScatPack, the EV, the full, I guess, a full video of what this EV is going to sound like with this Fratzonic Chambered Exhaust. From what I'm hearing, or from what I'm understanding, from what they said before, that it's not speakers from what they're saying. I don't know if something was changed, but from what they said early on and how I took it and how I understood it early on back, in 2022, 2 years ago, it was like an instrument, kind of like a trumpet. There is no fake sound. You blow into a trumpet, it produces a sound. You blow into a saxophone, it produces sound. So supposedly this is supposed to be some instrument that's under the car, and as you blow or as wind travels through, it makes a sound. I don't know how they did it, but that's pretty much what it's supposed to be from what I'm getting. So from what I understood, I could be wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what I'm getting. So it is not like fake speakers like people keep saying, or some kind of fake sound, unless something changed, unless they changed something. That is not the understanding that I got early on. Like I said, 2 years ago, they made it seem like it was an instrument. It is not fake sound. It is real sound. It's just they have like somewhat of an instrument under the car, and that's why they call it the Fratzonic Chambered Exhaust. So I'm going to go right to the clips that Stellantis just put up and let you guys look at this and let you hear it. All right, so it sounds way better to me than it did in 2022. 100% better, way better. This is just the ScatPack, all right? So they have an RT, which is below this, and then they have a ScatPack. So I'm assuming this ScatPack, I don't know if it sounds better. I don't know if they were able to adjust the decimals based on the level in the exhaust. So the RT is going to sound, maybe they did some kind of engineering where it sounds not as aggressive, and then you get to the ScatPack, it sounds even more aggressive. And then of course next year, once they release this Banshee, which is 800 volts, I'm assuming that's going to sound even louder. I'm not sure. I don't know if it's all the same sound for all three, or if each level you would think gets a lot louder as it goes up in trim and it goes up in power. So that's the things that we'll have to learn. To me, it does sound, it doesn't sound as strong as a real V8, but it does have a sound of somewhat of an engine, So, and like I said, if it's not speakers, like they said, and they kept that word, and they did not change something up, and it didn't get changed, in between, 2022 and 2024, then that means that it is still what they said it is. It is not speakers. It is just, from what they're saying, the chambered exhaust. So how do you guys feel about it? To me, it sounds better than 2022. How I've said before, that sounded like a robotic type, cat type sound that they let us hear back in 2022 at the event with Tim Kuniskis. But of course they worked on it. They heard what people said on social media, and they did not want to keep it that way. They knew people were not happy with how it sounded, so they perfected it. And supposedly in this video, this is just the pre-production model that's shown. So It does sound a lot better. It sounds a lot better than it did in 2022. I'll tell you that 100%. So, you know, after watching the video, you'll just have to make your own decision on whether or not you like it. Like I said, from what they're showing, this is the pre-production model. So, you know, the car looks decent. It does not have a super EV look. I would say if that car was a little bit lower, I mean, of course, as you get into the bigger power, I'm sure they're going to make it more aggressive, probably a little bit lower. The ride height is going to be lower on the Banshee. It's going to have more of an aggressive look on the Banshee that's coming out next year. And the 4 doors is what I wanted. I said it back in 22. If they came out with a 4-door when they first announced it was just 2 doors, I would think about getting that for the channel. And sure enough, they just let us know this year, or you know, actually, I think it was, I don't know if it's the first of this year or like the end of 2023. They let us know that there would be a 4-door. So, or actually, this year is when they let us know. So, and then of course, you know, the hatchback I was seeing, you know, I'm not really a fan of, but of course the hatchback is here to stay. So I may just end up dealing with that. I got to see. That's if I even do this. Like I said, definitely not getting rid of my Hellcat. This Hellcat will not be going anywhere. It'll be paid off. And I'll have this car and that car on the channel. But I mean, that's just how it sounds. You have to say to yourself, do you like this sound? If some people are buying an EV, they just like EVs. Maybe they would just like this extra little, you know, feature that you have on an EV to make your car sound like it's a V8 or it's like an ICE engine. So that's it. Video was just released today. That's pretty much it. You got to kind of say to yourself, do you really like this sound? If you don't like the sound, of course, you can just keep it silent. You don't have to make a sound. So it can be in stealth mode. So you can have this EV and you wouldn't even have to worry about hearing the sound if you wanted to just keep yourself stealth.